Hey everybody, Coach Fury at Fury Industries, and I'm going to show you a DVRT Ultimate Sandbag training tip that will benefit your one-arm kettlebell swing. Now, when people have established proficiency with their two-handed swing, we go to one arm and sometimes things start to fall apart. We start adding a lot of rotation. Because we're asymmetrically loaded on a one-arm swing, the body has to struggle more to break even, right, to stay squared off. And traditionally, we go into alternating two hand to one arm to work on that. We can do different planking drills, packing drills, revisit the deadlift. But the big switch for most people there is simply the fact, it's not so much that it's the one arm, it's we're progressing to an asymmetrical load from a more complicated start, meaning the upper body, our holding position, versus if we go into DVRT land, what if we start from a more grounded position that is also a little bit more athletically beneficial, and we do a sprinter stance. So a sprinter stance is this. You see my feet, I drag my toes to heel, I'll get this bell out of the way so you see a little more. I start my normal deadlift stance, and I just drag one back, heel toe, pushing in still, right? As if I'm gonna do that deadlift, but I'm pushing in. So now I can take this sandbag and really pull these handles apart. And what that's gonna do is it's actually just like returning to a deadlift. It's gonna help me keep a nice upper body position, get that lat tension to stay nice and squared off, help me fight my anti-rotation on that, because I now have a more manageable form of anti-rotation that I have to fight, of rotation that I have to fight, I should say. So I'm now got an asymmetrical stance. It's not fully unilateral. I drive up and I pull down. And by doing so, with the person I'm training, I'm starting to train out sway from an athletic position. Now, when I go back to my normal bilateral stance, I'm going to be more stable there, right? The things that I'm fighting here are going to pay dividends when I go back to my normal stance. Now, the step from the sprinter deadlift to a one-arm swing can be dramatic, right? So I can make a middle step there, and that would be with the Ultimate Sandbag high pull. So I set up like my deadlift, but now I will start to add some speed and ballistic load, creating more force into the floor. So my high pull, I'm making the bag float up, asymmetrical stance. Again, I don't want to say it's fully unilateral because this is driving, coming up, and absorbing down, right? But what helps me stay more stable in both the hips and the shoulders here is, since the bag's coming up and not out like a swing, again, I'm getting all the benefits we're looking for in the one-arm swing, but from a more stronger position for us, it's also a more athletic position. So, spend some time in that, and then have your person or yourself go back to the one-arm swing. If you've invested some time in those drills, this is gonna feel strong. You've been working on your shoulder position, you've been fighting your rotation, right? Really building strong core stability there. So this becomes easy with no rotation. And now I know what you're saying, Fury, can I do that with a barbell or a kettlebell? Sorta. The handle's on the sandbag, specifically put into place to put you in a sweet spot position for your shoulder alignment and lat engagement. It's not gonna be the same when people go to a kettlebell or a dumbbell. It's just not. Folks, whether it's ourselves or the people we've trained, we've all seen that struggled forward shoulder in, no matter how many times we try planking. The implement is actually part of the purpose of the drill. So, give that a shot. Let me know if it helps your one-arm swing. Again, we don't have to rush asymmetrical loading from an upper body position. We can start it at the feet where we're more grounded and set our people up for success. Hey, give it a shot. Let me know if it worked.